The book of Proverbs says that anger is cruel and wrath is like a flood, but jealousy is even more dangerous. A jealous person is a dangerous person. And why is that? Because they want what you have at all costs. At all costs. They will not leave not one stone unturned in order to have what you have. Narcissistic gang stalkers are jealous people. Therefore, they are very dangerous people to keep around in your life. Because when a narcissistic gang stalker sets their sights on a target, they will seek to destroy them and shred their lives like a piece of paper. The things that they target the most in your life, they target a lot of things. There's a lot of reasons why gang stalkers, narcissistic gang stalkers, target certain people. But the main things that they set their sights on is your reputation and your relationships. Let me repeat that. The main targets that they set their sights on is your reputation and your relationships. Therefore, in order to target all of that and to tear it down and to shred it like a piece of paper, that's when they come in with the lies, the smear campaign. Because unfortunately, lies do travel faster than the truth. And narcissistic gang stalkers can be very persuasive with their words, very charming until the mask falls off. And even the most perceptive people can be deceived by a narcissistic gang stalker. A narcissistic gang stalker is very dangerous because they are very jealous. And what makes them even more dangerous is that they believe their own lies. Narcissistic gang stalkers are not new at what they do. They use the same tactics over and over again. And they've seen the end results after years and years of practice. So they know what's going to work on certain people and what's not going to work. I mean, think about it. What person doesn't cherish their relationships, the solid ones? What person does not want to protect their reputation? And that's why it can be very disheartening and very alarming when they go after your reputation and your relationships, because they know the first thing that you're going to do is spring into action to protect and defend your reputation and your relationships. You see, narcissistic gang stalkers, they don't know what it's like to have solid relationships because they destroy every relationship they get into. Relationships that could have been solid, that could have been lifetime relationships. They find a way to destroy it. And so, somewhere along the way, maybe they were hurt because someone decided to walk away from them. Someone maybe hurt them, wounded them very deeply. And so they know what that feels like. And so they will go after relationships that you've established, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, a lifetime. And they will shred them like paper. You see, narcissistic gang stalkers, when they attach themselves to you, they weave themselves into every part of your life, like a spider that weaves her web. Except this web that the narcissistic gang stalker weaves is a web of deception. It's insidious, it's subtle. By the time you realize how deeply embedded they are in your life, it's almost too late. It's almost too late. The damage has already been done. And sometimes what we don't realize, because of the jealousy, the anger, and the wrath that lives inside of a narcissistic gang stalker, we don't realize that how much they really do despise us. And so what we try to do, we try to overcompensate, we try to, go overboard. We're trying to keep the peace and trying to keep some form and shape of happiness. But you can never appease a person that's filled with jealousy, wrath, and anger. But I came to tell you that, by the time you notice what's going on, people have already started to discard you. Relationships that you thought were solid will be discarded like an old shoe. And again, that's because narcissistic gang stalkers can be very persuasive and very charming in order to get their way. And they're sort of like the people who say, have you ever heard of someone that would say, if I can't have you, or if I can't have it, nobody can have it? That's the way narcissistic gang stalkers are. That's their mode of operation. That's how their mind processes relationships. If I can't have what you have, then you won't have it. And so since I can't have it, then I will seek to destroy it. I will seek to shred it like a piece of paper. But let me assure you of one thing. The deeds of the narcissist does not go unnoticed. And although they may have torn you down, the Lord will rebuild you. And this can be found in scripture in the book of Jeremiah. I don't have the exact address, but in the book of Jeremiah, God promises his people that though they tore you down, though they tried to tear you down, I will rebuild you. Because guess what? The Lord loves us with an unfailing love. And just because a narcissistic gang stalker comes into your life and tries to destroy it, it doesn't stop God from loving you. And you can stand on his promise that although they tried to tear you down, I will rebuild you. Remember this: anger is cruel and wrath is like a flood, but jealousy is even more dangerous. A narcissistic gang stalker is a dangerous person.